Yo, everybody, it's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week. And Dr. Roto, if you haven't been over to the site, get over to Dr. Roto right now and make sure you check out all the content that we have dropping for baseball. It is baseball season. Hold on. Yeah, go Dodgers. Woo! All right. I'm sitting here ready to do my bring the pain on a crazy Friday. First of all, I want to say rest in peace, Carl Weathers. I just did a whole podcast about that, so I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm just trying to keep ain't no reason to get emotional right now. But what I do want to get emotional is I'm going to hit a couple topics today. First one being Taylor Swift at NFL football games, rooting for the Chiefs. She is part of the life now, right? So there's been a couple sides of this. There's been the people in the middle that don't say anything, right? And of course, there's the people that, no, we don't need Taylor Swift, right? And then there's the other people that are like, yay, go Taylor Swift. So here's my take, right? Everybody has had their chance, and I've mentioned her a few times on a couple of my podcasts recently, and I don't see the distraction at all. I don't care that Taylor Swift goes to any football game at all. And I'm not going to be the one that say she's supporting her man. No, she's going there because she wants to learn about the game. Nobody knows it. I don't know because I'm not a Swiftie, okay? But if you're a Swiftie, you know if Taylor Swift loves watching football. And if she doesn't, she didn't know about it. I brought up on my last podcast that Taylor Swift is going to bring a set of eyes to the NFL that may have never looked at the NFL before. You don't know. There was this kid out there that's a huge Swiftie, loves all of her music, everything like that, right? And that person has never watched football. Maybe they just never had influences. I run into people who don't even know who Macho Man Randy Savage is.
That's a little pathetic on their end, yeah, because I'm a macho man, Randy Savage. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I don't understand why are they annoyed by her? They're just annoyed because she's cheering in the crowd. Look, being a Rams fan, and when Kurt Warner came out of nowhere, all they showed was Brenda Warner. And believe me, they showed Brenda Warner more than they showed Taylor Swift. And I they showed her for a couple Super Bowls, all right, and the years in between. She always had to make sure she was on, looked good because she was on camera all the time. And you know what? Taylor doesn't care right now. Taylor's out there getting all these new jackets, making everybody want the jacket that she had. Now they're all going to buy it. They're all Swifties, not Swifties. She's making cool things. The thing that remains is that she's there and that she's enjoying herself. And when you look in the booth and you see everybody around her having fun, you see Mahomes' girlfriend Brittany up there. And I know people just getting all crazy. Like, it's okay for them to cheer for their dudes, okay? And as I said, is it doesn't bother me. It's not a distraction. Why is it a distraction? It's not why your team lost. It's Lamar Jackson didn't look up to the rafters and go, oh, Taylor Swift's up there, I better lose, right? No, he didn't do that. He went out there and laid an egg. Yeah, I said it. That's why I bring the pain. Oh, yeah. So when you look back at it, why are they all mad about Taylor Swift? I'm not. I'm in the sports industry. I think it's great for the NFL. I think it's great for the sports industry to see sometimes some of these relationships leak into sports, and she's got her big concert, right? And she's going to get back to see Travis play because you know what? Win or lose, probably win. Go Chiefs. Right? It just, they win this game. She gets to experience something she never experienced. She gets to experience a Super Bowl extravaganza, celebration, the popping of the corks in the back, wine and seltzer and sparkling wine and champagne flying everywhere. She gets to experience all that. Yeah, she probably has experienced some sort of fashion of that, but I'm not a historian of her. Travis Kelce's a pretty big deal in the NFL. I mean, this guy is an all-star player. He is a superstar tight end. And this is a big game for the Chiefs. So, being on that field, seeing all the little streamers come down, talking on the podium. Is she going to be up there with him? Most likely. Do we want to hear her talk? Hell yeah. I'm all down for her talking. I'm all down for whatever she wants to do to help the NFL. That doesn't mean that I say go buy her music or go listen to her music. Yeah, if you do that, go listen to it. I mean, it's kind of funny that all of a sudden my Sirius XM has her music always played now, but we get a little smile now because me and my family we're a Kiss Army family, right? So we're down, we're dark, we got our little sides to us. We got that rap side to us. But then now we recognize Taylor Swift music. And you know what? When I shared that little excerpt of, Taylor Swift music and Travis Kelce just jumping around and dancing, look, I am fine with that. If it bothers you, why? Why does it bother you? Turn off the TV and go clip your toenails. Like I said last time, shouldn't bother you. Shouldn't bother you watching people be happy. Maybe that's the real problem. Take that to the bank. That's how you bring the bird. Now, I want to weigh in on a little thing, and no way am I making any kinds of place outs or anything, but I wanted to weigh in on this DFS scandal that happened at one of the big championships. You know, I'm not going to mention any names. I don't know anybody. I know that in this industry, I work for somebody that knows all these people, and that being Dr. Roto. And he has no affiliation with any of my comments, but at the same time, I have no comments. When you see somebody go in and you see them change a lineup, right? You do have to question that. And the fact that everybody's seen this going on, and then it's supposed to be an isolated incident, but then there's this incident from 2019 that's sticking out now that people are checking into. Look, anybody that's dipped their hand in the cash register once has dipped their hand in the cash register multiple times. A thief never changes its color. Okay. And I'm not calling this dude a thief, but well, he definitely wasn't being very just about this. And the fact that, as another host that works for another site brought up the fact that how long was this going on? And if it wasn't going on for that long, then what made this person change? What makes somebody make a bad decision like this and throw his life away practically? Because no one's gonna respect him in the fantasy industry now. Like all of them are friends with this person. But at the same time, he did something that you shouldn't do ever, and that's tampering with a fantasy contest. When I'm sitting there and I call myself the bridesmaid of DFS for a reason, because I feel like I always finish second, third, fourth, and fifth. I get my first place finishes. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I always feel like when it comes to the big money and I'm sitting there 0.21 away from, $100,000 or $10,000. And I'm looking at the difference and I'm like, my kicker missed a field goal, man. Missed a field goal. And that would have been the difference. And that's what happens. And sometimes you don't win. And this same host said that sometimes people get addicted to winning. And yes, I can relate to that. I'm not addicted to winning. I'm a safe player at most parts, but I am very out there when it goes to my contrarian style. I will pick the most off the wall balls that you can. You can say, oh, your balls to the wall. It's not. It's about just picking the guys that are different than other people because everybody's going to be on the same line. Every website, for the most part, and their optimizers are peeling out the same players. And people are looking at these. This is why sometimes people don't believe that they need to pay into a fantasy sports entertainment company like us. Like when you pay into a place like drroto.com, you can go to the Discord and you can talk to us all the time. You can get your plays all the time, but that's giving you the best play. What you make at the end, we have all been at that decision where we've left somebody on the bench that didn't have a good matchup, and for some reason that guy goes off, right? And you can't put him in. You wish it would happen. You almost cry. Like you're like, why couldn't I just move this player? Why? Why did I second guess myself? And you take the loss. When you take the loss, you learn a lesson. And you actually learn a lesson, unlike Dan Campbell. But you learn a lesson. Sometimes you just have to trust your gut. And sometimes you have to do stuff that you don't want to do that might be extraordinary. At the end of the year this year, I just started playing DFS. I started stacking Chiefs because I had Rice and I had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And when Pacheco went down, I was just throwing them all in there. I didn't care. I was trying to get as many points as possible. At the same time, I'm sitting here with my Indianapolis Colts stack with Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman. That got me third place, and I had a chance for first place. I am the defending champion that has lost now. But what puts us all in those situations is learning from your mistakes. And yes, this gentleman will learn from his mistake, but it's going to take a lot of other things to get him to that point to make that mistake or not make that mistake or to redeem himself. And you know what? He can do that. He can do that, but he has some obstacles to take care of. And it's not my job to attack him or to attack what he did. What he did was pretty crappy. It is definitely against all sorts of codes. You don't do that. When you roll your starting lineup out there, you should have felt confident in that lineup. And if that lineup doesn't do well, again, you just pick yourself back up and you go on it. You don't go some conniving way and go behind people's backs and you make a switch just so you could try to win some money for one of your buddies or exes or whatever it may be. That's not the way you play sports. Look, or fantasy sports at all. Last year, when the whole Damar Hamlin thing went down, I went to the championship game and I said, look, I will give you this option. I will let you keep the points since they evened out all the points. They zeroed them out before I actually screenshot any of the points. I said, you get those same players this week, the final week of the NFL. Whatever those players do, right? Whatever those players do, those points that accumulate week 18, I will add to your player, right? So then, so I had Josh Allen take a 0, and I won a championship by over 20 points last year. I was scared, and I was almost going to I had I had Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson put up 28 points. And I'm like, oh man, if I lose, but it was, I already won. My defense won. Jalen Petrie had went to town for me. And at the same time, Roquan Smith was a beast, right? IDP. Oh yeah, IDP hero. Hashtag it. Woo! But that being said, it was one of those things that, yeah. And then going into this year, some things just didn't work out for me. Again, I learned my lesson, like all of us have learned our lessons in fantasy football. And cheating is not the way to make things better. People got money up. But going back to that, I asked them, and all of the captains said that is fair. In both leagues, the four people that were contending for the titles all said that they thought that that was fair. And you know what? Yeah, it ended up working out to where some people might have won, might have lost, but they made that decision. They both agreed. And that's what you do. That's how you rectify a situation. Why that situation is kind of not like this situation, but at the same time, is what I'm saying is that when disastrous things happen, you have to pick yourself up. You don't cheat your way out of it. And yes, there's a lot of leagues that just cut dried and didn't do what I did. And just there was teams that had 2 or 3 people in that game that all got zeros and now lost the championship. And we're only down 2 points with 3 players. It happens. And you know what? You just move on. And I think that that's what the other host, I'll just say his name, Jeff, was talking about, is that you become addicted to winning, that it's almost like you'll step over anything. You'll step over your own family. You'll hurt your family. You will hurt your friends. You will hurt your name. You will hurt everybody around you just to get that quick fix, just to see if nobody catches it. But when they catch you, this is what you deal with. So good luck, bro. Instead of that. And, that's all I wanted to weigh in on today. I wanted to keep it short and simple, keep it out there, and just talk about a couple situations. Again, next week, you're going to get on my Tuesdays and, Friday. Tuesdays, of course, is going to be my things that make me a jerk. Friday, you're getting the Ultra Contrarian show. And I'm going to do a review of Radio Row, some of the craziest things that might have happened, might have not happened. Of course, Sirius XM will be there. At least I assume they will be. So there's going to be a lot of people walking around Radio Row. So that's going to be fun to listen to and hear on in. And hey, remember to stop by Sirius XM Fantasy Radio for Doc in the Morning on Saturdays, 7 to 9. And hey, maybe they should get more because it's baseball season. We need a lot of Doc because we need those Roto Visionaries. Oh, yeah. Have a great day, everybody. And may the points be with you. May the tackles be with you. And may Carl Weathers Rest in peace. May the prayers be with you, Carl. You will always be Apollo Creed because you're a bad man. Oh, yeah.